Don't come on my couch, please. Ew. You were gonna put my whole out on the internet? Hi, welcome to the Castello podcast. Not the official name. We don't know what we want to name it yet. If you would like to leave a suggestion, that'd be so slay. What the heck is this? Why are we here? Why am I filming myself in my living room? I just wanted to interact with people more. I'm planning on having this live on YouTube only for now, where we just hit 20k subscribers, which is so cool. That's so many people. What the heck? That's so cool. I'm so flattered that so many people care to to tune in. If you like this, you know, I gotta do the call to action. I'm so sorry. You gotta like, comment, and subscribe. You're gonna hear a voice behind the camera. Liv, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm the social media manager and editor for Via Castello.
Yes! And we love her. She's the reason that everything looks so beautiful on the Via Castello socials. Please, round of applause.
Let's start with the most important topic. Why Via Castello? What does it mean?
Listen, we gotta get into the lore. The short version of it is I'm Italian. I was born in Italy. I came here very, very young. I grew up going back and forth, so I'm fluent. I speak the language. Ciao ragazzi, come va? Via Castello literally means Castle Street, and that is the street that my grandmother grew up on. It's in the little village that I am from, that my parents met in, where they got married. And it's a lot more, it's easier to spell and easier to remember than the street that I actually grew up on. It just feels very classic, and I love that.
How does a song usually start for you?
The songwriting process, it's not always exactly the same. Sometimes I change it up depending, but I think the easiest way to put it is that for me, music and like writing music it's like a diary for me. It's how I process my feelings and emotions and experiences most of the time. I don't remember where I heard this, but one of the methods of writing a musical and like how to make the music fit into the storyline is that the music is when a character is just so overcome with emotion that they just can't help but sing. And that's usually where I find myself when I'm writing. So I'll usually have something that I'm feeling very intensely or something that I am going through, and I'll sit at my keyboard or with a guitar, and I'll usually start with a melody first. Sometimes I have lyrics. Sometimes it's just kind of word vomit.
How do you deal with creative blocks?
I think creative blocks are just a part of being a person in general. You can't constantly be outputting. You have to also have time for input. So it's like, I'm not writing all the time. Like, sometimes you just have to be a person. Why are you laughing at me?
You should be off-putting.
Why is that funny?
You don't remember that podcast with sorry? What's the actress for Katniss? Do you remember her?
Oh, yes.
And she was like
Jennifer Lawrence, my
yes.
love.
And the guy was like, so you're off-putting? And
You're off-putting.
Skylar was like, you should be off-putting.
Katniss Everdeen, my beloved. Right. So back on track. Right. So the creative block. Just a part of being a human being. You can't be putting out all the time. But genuinely, it's like you can't only ever be making. Sometimes you have to be, you know, the like stereotypical, you can't pour from an empty cup, but like actually it's like you have to refill your cup with, you know, hanging out with your friends, taking care of yourself, enjoying other people's art and creative pursuits. So listening to other music, collaborating with people maybe, and also just not putting the pressure on yourself that like, I have to create right now. Also, for me, sometimes when I'm having a creative block, it's because I am actively editing myself as I am creating, which is just very unhelpful. And what I mean by editing myself is like, I'll sit there and I'll come up with a melody and I'm like, oh, that melody's so boring. It's not catchy. I have the capitalist brain where I'm like, I have to sell this. I just am making and I just want to enjoy this. This is for me. You'll probably never hear like 70% of the stuff that I've written, to be honest, because I write so much and most of it is garbage. Most of it is not good enough to put out there, or to me, it's not worth putting out there just because it's like, again, it's for me. It's for me to enjoy and create. If you are an artist and you are trying to do this, you know, as your day job, or you're trying to sell your art in some form, not every single thing that you make has to be your magnum opus. Sometimes you just have to make stuff that sucks, and that's totally fine. Just make it, get it out there, get the gunk out, and then you can have the flow going. Also, having other hobbies and other things that you like doing, because sometimes I cannot for the life of me write, even though I'm filled with so much emotion and I have like all the puzzle pieces together technically to be in a writing mood, but I just can't do it sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And so it's like I have other hobbies. Like I made some of these Furbies. I went a little bit off track, but that's still mostly related to the question, I think.
Yeah.
Get back on those tracks. Oh my god, speaking of tracks, do you remember when I showed you the trolley problems? There's this incredible website where if you're bored and you're with a group of people. I also have the card game by the people that did Cyanide and Happiness, which is like the trolley problem. Anyways,
we'll have like 5 band members. We'll just play those games for an hour.
Like genuinely, like this is just an excuse to schedule hangouts with people.
Yeah, at this point. What would you say is your favorite album of all time or song?
I want to be the kind of person that listens to albums. My listening habit is to listen to like 3 or 4 songs on repeat for a month or a month and a half. And then I just move on. Truly, it's all over the place. I should start doing like a monthly playlist or something. But favorite song of all time, unironically, is Wham's Last Christmas. That song holds such a special place in my heart. It was the first song that I ever recorded. I'll find this recording. I wish we had a video of it, but we just have the sound. I'll find it and I'll put it in here. I grew up with my dad playing and writing his own music and recording it in a dinky little studio in the back of our house. I really, really love this song. So he was so sweet and he recorded guitar for it. And then he set up the microphone for me, and I literally just sang the chorus over and over and over again for like 5 minutes. It was way too long. When we do an episode with my dad, I'll get him to tell the story. But it was the first time that my dad was like, oh crap, this kid might actually have some talent.
Favorite artists?
Growing up, Norah Jones. Love her. She's incredible, and I adore her so much. Hozier, he's been my number 1 for a few years. Oh, you know what? My favorite album is Hozier's Unreal Unearth, and that's because when I was severely depressed a few years ago, thank you lockdown, thank you pandemic.
Love it.
Oh my god, Rona mentioned in the year of our Lord 2026. Ew. I went to his concert at the Rogers Arena in Vancouver in the fall of 2023, and he was touring that album, and seeing him perform that live reignited my love for music. So that's probably my favorite album.
Thank you, Hozier. You should come on our podcast for an episode.
Come to my house, Hozier.
Come to my house.
Dude,
come on my couch.
Don't come on my couch, please. Ew. I'm not cutting that out.
We gotta cut that out.
I'm not a coward. I love him because he is an incredible lyricist. The arrangement that he does in his compositions is very, very beautiful and pleasing to my ears. And I also really admire the topics that he writes about. Like, he does write about romance and stuff like that, which, you know, is relevant to everybody. But he's also not afraid to get political and talk about other world issues that don't just affect him as, you know, a white man. And he is very, very vocal about where his influences come from. Like, thank you, jazz and blues and soul music, for everything. Like, he is very aware, and that's something that I admire very greatly. Some other notable influences for me was Vasco Rossi. I grew up with a lot of him around the house. There's a lot of Metallica too. Mariana's Trench, the Ever After album, changed my life, and I was like, ooh, I had that CD in the car when I was like, I forget what year that came out, but I had that CD for a long time. It was so scratched because I wanted to play it all the time. It was the first album that I listened to that I really appreciated the fact that it was a concept album and every song flowed into the next one and there was a bunch of recurring motifs and I'm like, I want to make a concept album one day. I haven't yet, but I will eventually. Mother, let's go Canadians. Mother has been killing it. Their last album,
I love them.
so slay. Nobody Escapes. Just, so
yeah,
good.
I don't know if you've seen the cover that they did on that show for Gracie
Oh,
Abrams.
yeah, the Gracie Abrams cover they
Yeah.
did. First of all, that's a very, very cool show. Mother has such a distinct style. Like
It's
they
very
know who they
eerie,
are.
very-
And I love that. I feel like I don't have that yet musically, or I don't know if I do, because like you hear a song and you're like, yeah, that's Mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like they took the Gracie Abrams song, which I can't remember the title of right now, but they did a cover of Hot to Go, which was really good. And it's like, that is like, I could believe that they wrote that because
Yeah.
just the way that they arranged it and everything. Obviously, like it's like they made it theirs, and I admire that so much. And I don't think I'm there yet in terms of having a really strong musical identity where you hear something and you're like, oh, that's Via Castello. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
That's hard
mostly
to do
you
from an
are.
internal perspective.
Yeah, you are multi-genre too, so that might be a part of it too, because
Yeah.
you don't just stick to one sound. You have.
Yeah. Long term, writing multiple genres is a strength, like career wise, whatever. Short term, it's hard to categorize me, and therefore it's hard for the algorithm to sort me and push me to the right people because
Well,
I
'cause, yeah, 'cause-
changed a lot.
Yeah, a month you have a country song, and then the next month you have jazz, and
I
then
had
you have
one
rock.
country song, kind of. To be
It's-
honest, I think genre is kind of dead. It's only helpful as a categorization tool. Like, my ideal is that in 10 years, you know, Via Castello is doing great and we are touring and putting out music and doing stuff, but I would also love to be writing for other people. I'd love to be producing for other people. Like, I think that's so cool.
What's your favorite song from your?
For my catalog,
Yeah, from your catalog.
usually it just ends up being the last song that I worked on.
Yeah.
That ends up being my favorite for the moment. So right now, Sleepwalking is probably my favorite, and that's not going to be out for a few months. Sorry. But I am really excited for Ain't No Woman. That's going to come out.
Monday, May 18th, which is definitely the date that I said in this clip.
And I'm so excited for that song. I'm so proud of it.
It's gonna be a cool project.
Yeah, that one was kind of my magnum opus for a sec.
Yeah.
That was my like, this is the best song I've ever written. I wrote that when I was 17. Is that my first boyfriend? I have a lot of songs about situationships and like breakups. I do other topics. I feel like I don't talk specifically about any one thing. We did a really big show in Kamloops, which is where I went to high school. So
We did.
kind of a hometown, but kind of, I went to high school there. I was there for like 5 or 6 years. We had a big show there on Valentine's Day. It was so cool. So over the holidays, I went to Kamloops because I went home basically. And so we went into the Vic, which is a coffee shop down on Main Street. Not Main Street, but it's down on Columbia Street. Down on Victoria Street? Guys, I know Kamloops. Anyway, I ran into my good friend Dan, who is sitting down with Ryan from Kamloops. But we just started chatting. And that's how I got an MC for that show.
Yes, we had Ryan from Kamloops.
So freaking nice. So
he was.
sweet.
And he prepared everything very good.
He reached out.
Yeah,
He
it was
got
amazing.
gift baskets made.
Yeah.
He got all the stuff donated from a bunch of different businesses. Thank you. That was so freaking cool.
How do you prepare mentally before going on stage? Save space, guys.
Is it a safe space? Not here. Not with me.
No,
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Personally, I don't get stage fright anymore. I feel very comfortable on stage now. I get really, really nervous, like right before I go on, and I'm like actively shaking. So I get really nervous right before. But once I'm on stage, it's fine. But I think the most important thing is, yeah, the preparation beforehand, which is, I hate to say it, but all the classic stuff is, you know, sleep well, eat well, exercise, which I'm
Then
trying to
it's
do.
spicy.
Well, I have that's not necessarily related to the mental health stuff, but like for me, it's like, yeah, don't eat spicy food the day before or the day of a show.
Yeah.
When it comes to like mental preparation, the more stuff you can practice and the more things you can have kind of on autopilot, the easier it is when you get to a high pressure situations. My bassist, Brett, he actually told like,
if you could accept a little bit of criticism when you're on stage, like you just like, it's like a lot, and like you talk really fast and you try to like rush through things, so maybe just like relax.
I was like, Brett, you're fired.
Yeah.
Get out.
Walk out.
Get out of here. No, I love him so much. He's so wonderful. And I was like, Brett, you are right. I do need to relax.
What's your dream venue?
I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. I am really enjoying this phase.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where like the venue is small enough and there's not so many people that it's also like safe for me to walk around and talk to everybody in the room and like thank everybody who showed up. Because the Effie was cool because I also like I knew most of the people that were there, like they were friends or family friends. There was also some new people that I'd never met before and that had found us through the internet. There was a moment when we were playing Not Your Lover that when we got to the chorus, people were singing it back.
Which is amazing. It's
It
like,
was so, I genuinely, I had a moment where I was just like, oh my god, people are singing it back to me. What the hell? This is so cool. And there was this there was like 3 girls that during the break in our set, I got off stage and I was just like talking to my mom and I overheard them being like,
let's go talk to them. No, like you go, like I'm right there, just go talk to them.
and it was so sweet. And like, I promise I don't bite. I promise I'm not scary. I truly am just a guy. I'm just a little guy. I'm just a dude. I'm just here, guys. So, if you see me out in public, you can come say hi. But, like, don't be weird. Be normal.
we have a little guest in the corner of the room. Who is
Oh
that?
my god! It's Via Papatello! I commissioned her from this wonderful, wonderful artist for a music video, but we've been using her for lots of things. Thank you, Emma, for making her. She's so beautiful, and I adore her to bits and pieces. I have been able to meet so many cool people. This sign was made by a friend of a friend. It does look like it says Cartello instead of Castello, which has become one of our favorite inside jokes, is that we're kind of like a cartel.
We might name this podcast Via Cartello, the Mafia podcast, Via Cartello.
But yeah, so another thing that Liv wanted to do was, by the time this comes out, we might have already set it up, but on Instagram you can have the like broadcast channels. So she was like, oh, we need to come up with a name for your fan base. And I was
Which
like,
we
dog.
did though.
Have we?
Yeah, Via Gucello. Via Gucello.
No!
For the latest single, She's My Type.
Oh! So we filmed the music video for She's My Type in a day, and it was really, really cool. It was the first time that I got to build a set for a music video. It was so cool. Shout out my lovely friends at BCIT. Most of the shoot was me prancing around in my silly little outfits, rolling around on the floor, jumping around, whatever. As you do. I had a few outfits that were skirts or dresses or something like that. Hi, baby. This is my boy. My boy. Yes. This is my handsome boy. No, he's so smart. So a few of the outfits that I had on was skirt adjacent, and there was a lot of times where I kind of forgot that I was wearing a skirt, and so I would do certain movements where just like my crotch would be out. I wasn't naked, like I had tights on and shorts and stuff, but it was like crotch out. Doesn't look great on camera.
Which I wanted to put them out on Instagram. I even edited the video, and then at the last point I was like, we are saying and way too many times. Also, we can see your whole donkey. So I don't know if I want that.
You didn't censor it with an emoji or something?
No, I didn't post it, and yeah, I didn't censor it. I was like,
You were gonna put my whole out on the internet?
I was.
I mean, if you've seen the music video for Bitter Flavor, my sister shot and edited that video, and I made her scrub frame by frame to make sure that there were no nip nops and there was no gooch. It's definitely one of my more risque outfits. We sat there and we like pinned everything, and we had to redo a couple of takes. It was like, oh, your boob fell out. There's a lot of fun stories from this past year of, music video, the early music videos and the studio sessions. So like, if you want to hear more about them, like we can definitely go into depth. But Next question.
What is one advice you would give your younger self starting out?
One of the things that led to my mental breakdown was that I felt that my only worth and my entire identity was my music and my creation of the music, and like any criticism, any critique of it, even if it was valid and was coming from a constructive place, it just felt like a dagger to my heart every single time, and it felt like a personal attack every single time, because I could not separate myself from what I was making. And I was like, I am music, and I am music. Yeah. My entire identity was the music that I was creating. I didn't allow myself to be a fully 3D person. I was limiting myself and my identity to one thing, and that's not healthy, because we are not cartoons. We're fully rounded, fleshy beings. Like, there's so much more to you than just the things that you make or the career that you have. So yeah, like the advice that I would give myself is like, don't put so much pressure on yourself to only be one thing.
What would be one mistake that you made?
I didn't talk about this earlier, but when I wrote Ain't No Woman when I was 17, I was very insecure. I did not have a very stable sense of self. Hello. I didn't express myself well in this section. About a year after writing the song, so when I was around 18, 19, I had the opportunity to record Ain't No Woman professionally in a studio, and no hate to the professionals that worked on the original recording. I was just unable to express myself correctly and say what I wanted because I was too much of a people pleaser and trying to do what I thought the people around me wanted. And so I didn't feel like that version sounded like me. It didn't feel authentic. And so I shelved that song for a very long time because I hated it. Now it sounds like me. Now the version that I'm putting out, it's really come full circle where like it feels right.
Well, I'm sure it was meant to be. No.
Yeah, and like when I wrote it about my first boyfriend. At the time, I knew that I was queer and that I also liked women, but I didn't know at that point yet that I was non-binary. And so now, looking at that song through a queer lens, because I ain't no woman, the person that I love might not be a man. Which I guess leads into something that I feel very strongly about. Art is political, and like I said, one of the things that I admire about Hosier is that he is very political in his art making. He is very aware and very open about it. I think a very valid criticism of Chappell Roan recently, which I love Chappell Roan, her music. I don't know her, so like, I think it's great that she did speak out for queer people, for trans people. Recently, the criticism of her has been, like, she did the Call Her Daddy podcast a little bit ago where she said something like,
I'm a pop star. I don't have time to like be up to date on everything.
I think what she was trying to say is that she shouldn't be the only source and the end all be all. Like, that shouldn't be the only person that you're listening to for your political advice and for your, gauge on
for sure
the situation. But it's like, you are a very influential figure. Your art reaches a lot of people, and unfortunately, I guess this is a critique that I have of the music industry. It's not just about the music anymore. Like, you do have to be a persona. It's very cool from a creative perspective to be able to build a world along with the music and to be able to expand upon that. That is so cool. It's unfortunate from like a capitalism point of view that like, if you want to have a career in music, you have to be on social media. You have to be involved on stuff. And like, if you choose to stay silent about certain issues and what you believe in, then people are going to assume certain things, and it's like, I don't ever want people to assume what I believe in and what I think. I remember when I was a teenager, when I'd like just come out, I remember thinking, I don't want being queer to be my only defining quality. And I kind of went at it from this weird lens of like, I wanted to be one of the good ones that the homophobes would see me and be like,
oh, well, they're kind of normal, and maybe they're not all so bad.
And it's like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to make myself smaller to make other people feel comfortable. Hell yeah! There's obviously a certain amount of privilege in that because I am still white and woman-shaped. Gotta use them white woman tears. For God!
Tell people how they can support you or any other artist.
Okay! Yes, so important. I talked about this on my secret TikTok account a little bit. Have fun finding it. It's not that secret. I don't know. Anyway, how I feel about the fact that like I am on Spotify and Apple Music and all those like, which again I can dive into more later. But actively right now buy the music off of like Bandcamp. I have everything on Bandcamp. The majority of that money does go towards the artist. I don't have any merch up yet, but you know, if you like an artist, merch, go to their shows. But if you do not have money, the next best thing, and this is also just good in general, is to follow/subscribe on whatever platform that you use and interact with the content. You know, leave a like, leave a comment, share it with people, listen to the music on different streaming platforms, whatever streaming platform you are on. Listen to that. Well, okay, so yeah, this podcast doesn't have a real shape or identity yet. So if you liked anything, or if there's anything that you're like, oh wait, I want to hear more about that, or actually I hated all of it, can you talk about this instead? I want to hear it. Leave a comment below. This is me engagement fishing, so you know. Yeah, I'm planning on having a bunch of guests. There'll probably be a bunch of episodes that are just me. I hope you're okay with that, but lots of episodes with my bandmates, other bands, other producers, music industry affiliated people. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you listened this whole time, I appreciate it. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you soon. Ciao.
Right, yeah. So the goal of this podcast, the ghosts
started telling you to my phone was blowing up at 9:30. It was like, what the I answered.
Wake up! Leave ya, wake up! We have a meeting!